I gave a speech last September, Westminster College, where Winston Churchill gave his famous Iron Curtain address about how overheated rhetoric that fans the flames of fear, suspicion, and prejudice has consequences. And I think it is crucial for those of us in public office, those of us who command a microphone, and again, this is not a comment on anybody running for office, those of us who command a microphone to be responsible in their rhetoric, because overheated, irresponsible rhetoric has consequences.
Do you include in that calls to use the label radical Islam?
No, I don't quite put that debate in the same category. I think it is a reasonable debate to have. In my day-to-day Homeland Security world, though, it is not relevant to whether we put somebody on a no-fly list, whether somebody is a lawful military objective for targeted lethal force, whether somebody's arrested and charged with a terrorist act. It's irrelevant whether you call them Islamic extremist or violent extremist. I mean, I can honestly tell you, I can't remember those baseball cards when I was at DOD that I'd have to sign off on. I can't remember whether they said Islamic extremist or violent extremist, as long as the person was a lawful military objective and the collateral damage assessment was there. So day to day, practically speaking, it doesn't matter what label you put on these guys, as long as we are preventing them from entering this country, as long as we are arresting them and charging them when there is a crime about to be committed, and as long as we continue to take the fight militarily to these groups. Now, where I believe the label does matter, and I view this in practical terms, at some point when I leave office and I have time to research this more thoroughly, I want to fully understand the debate on both sides. But day to day, where it matters is what I consistently hear in American Muslim communities. Whether it's Somalis, Pakistanis, Syrians, what I consistently hear is ISIL has hijacked my religion. And they do not represent Islam. They are a terrorist organization claiming the banner of Islam, but they do not represent any aspect of my religion. And to refer to the Islamic State or Al-Qaeda as Islamic extremism suggests and buys into the notion that they occupy some aspect of my religion, which is offensive to us. So in our efforts to build these bridges, if we walk in the door, if George and I walked in the door and said, we got to do something about these Islamic extremists, help us out, you got a problem in your religion, we're not going to get very far. That's viewing things in very, very practical terms. This political debate about Islamic extremism versus violent extremism is interesting, but day to day, it is of no consequence in terms of who we arrest, who we take down, who we prevent from coming in the country, and who we kill.